Hello, everyone. This is Heartwood's Haven. I am your host, Brandy Swords, and we have a special guest today, Dylan Lott. Thank
Hello.
you. Hello. Thank you for coming on today, Dylan. And our episode today is The Courage Within. So, if you this is a free space. You can talk about anything you want, laugh, giggle, dance. We don't care. So, if you would like to tell us a little bit about yourself, your life, what have you accomplished? What are you doing? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, my name's Brandon Lott. I go by Dylan. I am a proud father to two kids, a little girl and a little boy. I am a proud veteran of the United States Army. Um, I currently work in telecommunications.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've gone through struggles with my own mental health in multiple different aspects. Suicidal thoughts, suicidal tendencies, suicidal actions. I've had battles with anxiety. I've had battles with anger. I'm still actively, working on my anger situation.
Yep.
I try to keep my mind busy throughout the anxiety to bring the bring my focus off of negativity and the what ifs and make an action happen. Try to put my focus towards an achievable action that I have my control of. And I like to do a lot of that through volunteering, donations, um, simple things as reaching out,
Mm-hmm.
cleaning in the house, everything that can take me one step, well, one little accomplishment basically. So I
Yeah.
know I achieved something along those lines. But I think that's one of the biggest things I've been doing on my anxiety side.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm working on the anger, but I've 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 dealt with a lot in my short life, range of emotions wide, the the veterans PTSD stuff, all along those lines. And I my goal in life is to be an advocate for those who can't speak for themselves and those who are scared to speak for themselves. Let everybody know that it's okay to not be okay and it's okay to speak.
Yeah.
It's we all are human, we all have emotions, and we all need to be understanding of that and open to help others.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my mindset,
Yeah.
but I think the world could use a lot more kindness, a lot more positivity,
Mm-hmm.
all aspects of life, humanity, Earth, just Mother Earth,
Yeah.
or wildlife. We all need kindness in this world because every life has a purpose. That's
Yeah.
that's what I keep reminding myself every day that everybody has a purpose in this world.
Yeah. And I agree. So, do you think, like, what made you come, like, at this point in your life, what made you be brave enough to say, you know what, I got to talk about myself, I got to talk about my struggles? What changed for you that you said, okay, I got to do this now because you didn't do it before?
I went through some phases where while I was in active duty, I lost two good friends of mine to suicide, and um, that shook me a little
Yeah.
bit to see how easily your story could be over, how quick
Mhm.
you can make that decision in a tough moment, and how it's just life is so amazing but can be cut so short so easily.
Yeah.
But I had went through that phase. It opened my eyes a lot,
Hmm.
and then COVID had happened, so I was stuck at home with my own thoughts. Luckily, my daughter was just born, so I found the positivity. But just through that, I went a few years with um, kind of bottling up my emotions with the anger, the anxiety, all of that. And then I went through a very tough separation from my wife. And I think the range of emotions from, me feeling as a failure as a husband brought me to my breaking point, and all of this stuff that had been compiled for years and years and years finally got pushed up to the
Yeah.
front. And I straight up told them, well, we'll divulge into that story,
Mhm.
where um, I had just had so many things compiling. I go to the VA. I had tried to get an appointment, and it took, I think, like 3 to 6 months.
Wow.
And yeah, when that appointment came, I had no idea where to go. I went
Mhm.
into the VA campus. It's absolutely massive,
Yeah.
and they don't have mental health clinic named as mental health clinic. It's
Uh,
uh, named Warrior Wellness Center,
oh.
something along those lines. So I got there finally, and I was, I think, 15 minutes past, a quarter past the start of my appointment, and they're like, "Well, we
Mhm.
can't do anything.
Oh
You'll have
no.
to reschedule." So I tried to reschedule. It pushed me out another 1 to 2 months, and I was just it was just building and building and building because I maintained that mindset like most men do,
Mhm.
that um, my problems aren't enough. My problems don't matter. There's so many other people in this world who have it worse. Um, and I just held that in and held it in for years and years and years. And I finally got to my newly scheduled appointment and um, held it in all day. But that morning I had woken up and I said, if I do not get to my appointment today, I'm going to come home and I'm going to kill myself. My mind was set on that. I had a plan. I had the items to do what I was planning on doing. Um, and I went to work, went on lunch to my appointment, and I got there and walked back, met this lady. Never met her before, can't remember her name,
Mhm.
but she closed the door and I instantly just broke down,
Mhm.
started crying, and all I could say was that I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I told her, I was like, if I go home now, I'm gonna kill myself.
Mhm.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I was set on it. I knew it was gonna happen. It wasn't a, if or a possibly. It was, if I went home, it was happening. Like,
Wow.
I had started a note. I had done all of this, started planning out ways for my kids to be taken care of, all that. And I had done that. She said that she's like, well, we have an inpatient program that, you could voluntarily go to. And when she said voluntarily, I
Yeah.
knew this is your option and your chance to pick it before we make you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I think I'll go.
Mhm.
So, ended up getting taken to the urgent care where they just had to monitor, like typical mental health patients. Sat there, called mom. My mom came faster than I think I've ever seen, anybody make it to a hospital, and sat with me until I got taken inpatient, and that was hours. It took me a while, but I ended up going there for 3 to 4 days, and it gave me a majorly new perspective on life. The camaraderie between all the other veterans and
Mhm.
the understanding, and not even as veterans alone, just having other, people that
Yeah.
understand, other men who are also willing to be open.
Yes.
It's it was an amazing experience, and I think it helped me open up my mind because I saw that my problems are, they're equal. They're
Yes.
there and they're still valid, but I also saw people who were given very bad circumstances, and they were still maintaining that positivity, maintaining a positive outlook, and just it motivated me to be better. It motivated me to advocate for, men's mental health, to advocate for mental health as a whole, but I like to uh, prioritize my focus towards the men and the veterans and all of that because I think a male coming to another male, being open about it, um, it makes it relatable for other
Yeah.
people. And then right before I went to the hospital, I had my trip down to Asheville, North Carolina for the Hurricane Helene
Mm-hmm.
cleanup. And that was another thing that really opened my eyes that like the people down there got their life just completely flipped upside down in a matter of days,
Yeah.
completely unexpected. And how well, how well as humans we all united for a common cause to, there's people that need help.
Mm-hmm.
Let's help them. This isn't about us. This isn't about an individual. This is about you're human. You deserve respect. You deserve to be loved. You deserve the kindness. And
Yeah.
yeah, just those experiences there, plus multiple other ones along the way, has just helped me open up my eyes to the, the seriousness and the true crisis that we're in with our mental health. And I just want to advocate and I want to be, one of the voices and let others know that
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to not be okay. Like I said, we're all human. We have our days. That's when you have someone to lean on or
Yeah.
you have someone you can talk to. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And I think that's amazing because we talk about this all the time. How, in our society, like men that have talked to me privately are like, we don't want to talk out in the public because what if they think we're weak for
Yeah.
speaking? Or, oh, we're crazy, or we can't do our job because we're having, something going on and
Uh,
we're not strong enough. And it's so hard. And I'm so glad that we're changing this and you're talking about it because I feel the same way. I feel like it's harder sometimes for men to step up and talk about it because we're always told, oh, men need to be strong and the
yep.
leader and they can't have these bad days. But as a husband, a father, a brother, uncle, whatever, you're human like the rest
Hmm.
of us. So you have the same feelings we do, but we act like that's something you can't speak about. So I love that you speak about that. And being a father, we just talked about that with the kids. Like you are a good role model and your kids can see that and your son can see that like okay daddy
Yeah.
can talk about his feelings so I can talk about my feelings. And how is that like raising your kids in your life now? Like what's your best advice that you give parents, as a father? How do you teach your kids to be kind and what to do?
I think a big mindset that you have to keep throughout the parenting is this is your first time being a parent. This is
Mm-hmm.
their first time being a kid. You guys are growing through it together. So you're going to make mistakes along the way, but you also need to be willing to accept and be accountable when you are wrong and to give a genuine apology instead of just a bland response. And then show them, be completely, visible, be an open book for your ranges of emotion to show your kids that
Mm-hmm.
you are human. We're all human. We all have different feelings. We all have different emotions along the lines that are, but they can be larger than others. Um, but in that same aspect that we're human, I think that can also be kind of a lesson along the lines that even though somebody might be upset and they might be distant and they might be um, in just a way that can come across in a a negative, rude way. That doesn't change the fact that they're human. They have bad days. We all have those days, and who's to say your little bit of kindness that you give them in that moment doesn't change their entire outlook for the day, and then that can branch out from there. You
Mm-hmm.
change this one person's day, And then say you do that again and again, you do it to, 3, 4, 5 people, and then those 3, 4, 5 people do it to another 3, 4, 5 people.
Yeah.
It branches out. And that's actually one of my most proud achievements in my
Mm.
life, that I'm raising pretty awesome little humans. Like they're my little best friends, and they saved me through a lot of it. They are, in a way, I tell them they're my little superheroes because they saved me. We go back and forth, but um, I don't just teaching them that, compassion.
Yeah.
Compassion in our world is needed so much. And I think if we can all get into that kind of, showing that it's okay to not be okay with our kids,
Yeah.
um, paying it forward with their education towards that, paying it forward with like I said, our visibility as parents can
Hmm.
help shape and, you know, break the stigma
Hmm.
towards mental health, that it's not okay to be okay. Because pushing, well, not pushing, but, letting them know that we're human,
Yeah.
that will, I think it can help our future, paying it forward, paying into the next generation. And I think if we can keep up with it, we'll have a kind world once again, a united world.
I think that's amazing. So like when you're having them overwhelming days or a bad day, what do you do for yourself that kind of gets you out of your head or just process your feelings? What do you do?
Well, this goes into the working on the anger part, but I've been doing a lot of breathing techniques.
Mhm.
I disconnect myself from the situation to try to maintain a calm composure.
Yeah.
Um, And if it's something along the lines where I'm overwhelmed with the kids, it goes back to the visibility like, hey, daddy's getting very overwhelmed. He doesn't want to be
Hmm.
mean. He doesn't want to lash out. So I'm going to go disconnect from the situation. Please give me a little bit of time.
Hmm.
We usually do pretty good there. And I'm huge on essential oils and natural
Hmm.
remedies, along as the simple, just essential oils, diffusers throughout the house, the um, natural air, opening some windows, you know, grounding. Grounding is a huge one.
Yes.
I love grounding.
Hmm.
And just going back to the accomplishment, do something, do
Hmm.
something small. I paint my feelings. That's some people do journals. I do paintings, get it out on how I feel. And I love it because I maintain that artistic kind of outlook,
Hmm.
but I'm also being able to portray myself and not, hold it within. I'm building good habits along the way, but
Yeah.
still, still young, still figuring it out. But
Hmm.
that's what's fun about life. That gives me something to get better at, and then I can just keep striving to be better for my kids and all
Hmm.
those.
And I think that's what it is because I feel like the same way with grounding. Like I love to be barefoot all the time. I have the roughest feet.
Yeah.
But I always say, like, every time me and Gary go somewhere, I'm like, oh, is there a little bit of water? Let me get barefoot and let me go in that water. No matter how cold,
Hmm.
there's just something that brings you just down to earth. And, you smell, you see, you feel. And it's just so calming. And the older
Yeah.
I get, the more I want to be in nature. Simple life, nature. And, when you're young or me, I'm so caught up in everything, running with the friends,
Mhm.
doing this, doing that, not having good habits. But now I'm like, I need to slow down and look around and appreciate everything I got and what's going on. And, I think that just takes time, you know,
Yeah.
going, yeah.
I agree with the water. I think Mother Nature and Mother Earth provides all we need to heal ourselves. We just have to be willing to open ourselves up to it. Um, and it's truly amazing, like slowing down how much it can change your outlook.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that a lot more too. I still stay slammed. I still do a lot of stuff, but I prioritize myself in
Hmm.
a lot more common than I ever did. So I give myself the space. I give myself time to mellow out, paint my feelings,
Hmm.
to give myself love, give
Yeah.
myself some self love. I think we need that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we do that enough because I think, like in my thing, they're like, oh, self love can be, selfish,
Hmm.
all these myths. And you're like, no, because how can we take care of someone else if we're not taking care of ourselves? And I think as a parent, we do that. We got to help our kids. We got to do this. We got to do that. And then we forget about ourselves. And that's what I
Yep.
did. And now I'm realizing, man, I need to slow down because, I'm my biggest advocate, my biggest everything. If I don't take care of myself, who's going to? You
Yeah.
know, I've got to be around for the grandkids and everything, and the stages are so fun. You get aggravated when your kids are little, but to see them do so many things, growing and being kind, making friends, and just going through life through their eyes is awesome. It really is.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's awesome. I love it. It's always going to be my favorite job, just
Mhm.
being a dad. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And you're into so much now because what? Addie's in what, cheerleading?
Yep,
And
cheerleading, the travel cheer stuff.
how
Briley.
that's a big thing, the travel cheer.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And she wants to keep going more. So
Okay.
we're gonna keep climbing, you know. I'll
Yeah.
always let my baby girl get whatever dream she
Yeah.
wants. But
Yeah.
Briley, in the same regard, he
Hmm.
just had his first season of basketball. Starts T-ball beginning of April.
Wow.
Wants to get into wrestling next year.
Wow.
Um, they'll keep me busy year round.
Yeah.
That college, working
Hmm.
full time, like
Yes.
I love it. I love learning,
Hmm.
learning with the kids, learning in the college aspect, learning at work. It's exciting and it gets me. It it's another thing that just motivates me through every day. It's exciting. Excitement towards life. I just got that back and I haven't had that in so long.
Mm. And
Yeah.
it's the little things, like you said. I think you're in the point in your life like, oh, try new things. Like you
Hmm.
said, painting. I mean, that's amazing that you picked up something like that.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be able to like play the piano or paint scenes out there. Well, I could if I really want to. I could try. I can do it. I thought some people are so their gifts are amazing, but we all
Hmm.
have gifts, and I've learned I can't compare me to someone else anymore. I'm gonna be who I am. You're going to love me or not love me. It's just, this is how I am. So I've just got to accept that and be what I want to be. So just learning
Yeah.
new things. So,
Yeah.
and that's the biggest thing. So our last question is, what would you say to someone out there struggling from your perspective?
Okay. Something I would say to somebody in a struggling situation. Um, you're enough. You're enough with who you are. You're doing an amazing job. And I might not know you well. I might not know you, but I'm proud of you that even on your worst days, you are still willing to battle. You're still willing to go through the tough phase. And if you ever need someone to talk to, do not hesitate to reach out. Never hesitate because in that moment, you may feel like your burdens are too big. You don't want to offload them. Your burdens don't matter. But that could never be further from the truth because no matter what, you matter. You matter every day. Just like the shirt says.
Yep,
If
that's
it'll
right. You matter. Yeah.
uh yeah, no, it's
Hmm.
take it 24 hours at a time. If you can't take 24 hours, take 60 minutes. Can't take 60 minutes, 60 seconds. Take it a second at a time. You
Hmm.
know, just one step at a time, and then you'll make it through the day, and then you will see brighter days. Because you can't have a rainbow without a little rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I've always kept my
Yeah.
outlook. Well, I can't say
Yeah.
always, but as of late, I've
Mhm.
been keeping it like that.
Well, and I agree with you. I think, like me, I've learned I put little reminders on my mirror and I'm like, the more you say things to yourself, the more I think you'll start feeling it, your brain, your heart,
Hmm.
start believing it. Because I
Yep.
think I've said this before, we're our biggest enemy, the way we talk to ourselves, and I'm like, you don't want to talk to someone else like that, but you'll say horrible things to yourself. And it's just
Hmm.
like, yeah, you learn that you got to stop doing that. Your mindset is key to everything, you know.
Yes. Yeah, it's a huge part of,
Yeah.
just life overall.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is a huge part. So, well, thank you for coming on the show today and just talking about everything. And I always tell everybody, since it's kind of heavy and we deal with it all, that we try to do the dance off like we just talked about.
Okay.
So I just play music, and we dance off, and then I just wave goodbye.
All right. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'll find
Okay.
something.
I don't either. I thought I need to quit doing the same moves because everybody's gonna think, okay, Brandy has one move. All right. Let's see if you can hear this. You hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then you can just dance it
Oh,
off.
I was gonna do the peace sign too.
Oh, we just knew. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do like this. All right. See you later.
See y'all.